Dr. Phil's patients don't always leave happy, and today I'll be covering Dr. Phil just got exposed by this old patient. Welcome back to Film Vert, let's get into the video. Not a real doctor. Dr. Phil used to say, to every action there is always a consequence. Dr. Phil runs a show on mental health importance, but still chooses a very unethical way of doing so. He is a fake psychologist who ridicules his guests on camera for publicity. First of all, people need to realize that Dr. Phil is not a real doctor. Although his name consists of this title and he has a PhD in psychology, but he lost his license to practice psychology long ago, back in 1988. He is not allowed to practice psychology in the state of California, which is why he left his profession, as a question is still unknown. But it happened when he showed unprofessional behavior with a client.
I just wonder if he might lack in diplomacy.
I see. And do you think that he is a narcissist? Do you think would you say that he is
illegal engagement with a client? There was a report where Dr. Phil was allegedly accused of having inappropriate relationships with a client. The client accused him of being extremely unprofessional and that he kept her totally dependent on himself. Dr. Phil kept her close to him by offering her a job in his facility, which was against the law, as having a therapeutic relationship with a client, which also happened to be his employee, was considered improper. The Texas Board of Examiners and Psychologists investigated this matter and found the accusations valid, so they issued him a letter of misconduct. They also assigned him a psychologist who monitored his practice, and they required him to take ethics classes. This may not have been accepted by him, so he left his practice as a legal psychologist.
You said you decided on purpose to what are you shaking your head for? Is there something I'm...
Exploits grieving people on his show. Dr. Phil believes that on his show, he doesn't practice real psychology, but instead, his series' primary goal is to let people know that it's okay to treat problems and obtain help and deliver understandable information about the way to live one's life. But still, Dr. Phil's show exploits grieving people on his show who have serious mental health issues. One of his guests, Kaden Mahafa, filed a lawsuit against him after she had a disastrous appearance on his show. Apparently, the show mostly spent the time laughing on her mental issues. She accused him of violently interrogating her and inviting the audience to laugh at her problems. She said that she had such a serious mental breakdown backstage and no one came to help her out, and she was later admitted to a mental health facility. Apart from Mahafa, there were several guests who came on his show and were ridiculed by Dr. Phil, and they were later left to deal with their scars, which the show gave them. Dr. Phil uses fame to gain trust of mentally ill people and later uses them to bring ratings to his show by making fun of them on camera.
To have access to his child. I mean, I certainly agree with that. But when you come in after the fact, I think Ariva raises a really good point.
Puts guests' lives on stake. Dr. Phil also claims to be treating patients with addiction problems, but in reality, when guests who happen to have addiction issues come onto his show, Dr. Phil literally plays with their lives. His treatment of addiction is also very dreadful. One time, a celebrity guest appeared on his show, namely Todd Herzog. He was also winner of a hit reality game show, Survivor. When he appeared on the show to discuss his drinking problems, he literally carried to the stage as he was drunk and was having problems walking. Before you wonder why an allegedly trained psychologist did something so cruel as to put a person too drunk to steer on national television, first consider the horrendously evil and wrongful actions that led to the present situation. According to Herzog, he was set up. He claimed that his room contained a full vodka bottle, and later a staff member supposedly gave him a Xanax before he came on stage. Can you believe it? Dr. Phil didn't care about the person's health. Something like this could have killed him. But no, he was only interested in increasing views on his show. There was once a pregnant lady on his show who was dealing with heroin addiction. Dr. Phil didn't provide her with medical detox, and she was left to take care of herself. He just didn't put the life of the lady in danger, but also her unborn child's life in danger too. These allegations were declined by Dr. Phil, but they were backed up by many of his staff members.
If it's not okay, then you can go out the back door. Either one. Right. You take your choice.
I want your help, Mike. I want some help.
Locked up in the staff room. When things were taking a nasty turn for Dr. Phil over the allegations of putting people's life at risk, just for some cheap laughs and increased rating for his show, he denied all the allegations, but some of his staff members came forward and told the media of the truth without revealing their identity. When Dr. Phil got to know about this, he locked all of his staff members in a room and screamed at them for hours for leaking the backstage shenanigans to the media. One of his staff members, Leah Rothman, came forward and told the media his identity and revealed to them the prime focus of Dr. Phil's show is not about helping people, but the show is rather done for the sake of rating, which ultimately results in more money. He also said that Dr. Phil embarrassed people in their darkest time and left the staff to pick them up after their emotional breakdown. He also sold a fake weight loss supplement on the show, and thus the outcome of a class action lawsuit and federal investigation ensured. He hurts, he exploits people, and a serious action needs to be taken against him. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any of our videos in the future. Also watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.